keeping it close there for until the 5-minute mark about, and then went on a little run. So just what was every single time you seemed to go on a run before that, they came back. So what kind of just snapped that you just took over?
I think our defense would really bother them. I think they were planning all week probably for us to do man because that's usually what we go to. But I think whenever we would go on a run, they would kind of hit a couple threes, but then we would get out a little bit more and get our pressure up and make sure that we stopped the three-point shot. And then they were having to take tough shots at the end of the shot clock. So.
Their coach mentioned that playing the zone against them caused them a lot of problems. They also had 24 turnovers. So is that something y'all practice on all week going into this game?
Yeah, we did. Honestly, coach is always talking about having something ready new, especially in conference. Like, we've played every team twice, and so you can't just come out with the same game plan. So we mixed it up, and it seemed to work for us tonight.
Lauren, can you describe that energy in the fourth quarter for you personally? You had a couple threes, couple and ones, couple steals. What was going through your mind on that run?
I think it's kind of easy to get those threes off whenever they're going underneath because Kaylee and Mandy are so tall. So I can kind of, as soon as I see them go under, I wanted to take that shot. I've been practicing that in the gym, so I was ready for that. And I think that we were ready for their pressure and trying to get it inside and do a bunch of different things to get out and get buckets early against them.
And you had 14 points in the fourth quarter. Is that one of the better quarters that you think you've had since you've been in college?
Probably, yeah. I think our defense really helped us out with that. We got a lot of steals in the fourth quarter, so it was kind of getting runouts and layups and just using our speed to try to get easy baskets.
Did you feel like you wanted to have a bounce-back game after Kansas State?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm going to be honest, and I think that was probably the worst game of my entire career. But to have a bounce-back game like this and to win at home against a ranked team in front of our fans and to be playing with this team, and no matter who's having a great game or who isn't, we're all together, and I'm really happy to be playing with this team.
Ray talks about Braxton being so good for a freshman. I think the first 3 quarters she started y'all off with a bucket, second and third with threes. So how important was that for her just to get you started, that you see her being so confident out there? Because I think the third quarter y'all had a 2-minute scoring drought before she hit that first 3, and y'all got going after that.
I'll take it. I think it's just really helpful. Sometimes, some of us might come out to a slow start. I know I did a little bit. And so it's kind of nice that you can feed off of somebody else's energy and somebody else's success on the floor. And so I think she was kind of one of those people tonight that you just kind of fed off of, and it helped us all kind of pick up our game and get back into it.
Yeah, I think that she really wanted to have a good game against somebody that she played against or she played with in AAU prior to coming here, Naomi Davenport, I think. Mm-hmm. And so whenever you have games like that and you know somebody on the team, you really want to do well, and it's kind of a competitive game. So I know that's what her intentions were coming into this game.
You two combined with Braxton had 70 points. Did you guys realize that, you three were just on fire tonight?
I really didn't, it really didn't feel like that. I feel like in the fourth quarter, just personally, I felt like I had a good fourth quarter, but overall, I wasn't dang, how many points do I have? How many does she have? I wasn't really thinking about that, but now looking at the box score, yeah, that's crazy.
Quiet 70, I guess. The quiet 70, I guess.
Yeah.
On that note, y'all getting 70 means the rest of the team only got 9. Just Coach talks a lot about developing the bench, and so how do you think, especially with Ari being out for the rest of the year, how do you think the progress is going filling that spot?
Honestly, I think we're doing a pretty good job. It's obviously hard to do that because she was such a great player, but I think even though they only had 9, they picked up in other places. So when they came in, Tasha and Gentry came in and got good minutes on defense, and Gentry took a charge, and so they find ways to, just kind of maybe you don't see their stats on the box scores and stuff like that, but they do find other ways to give us good minutes and help us out. So
yeah, they came in and got 5 rebounds in however many minutes and come in and do some really key things for us. I know Tasha kicked it out for me. That was kind of how I started to get going whenever she kicked it out to me for that 3. So I think that our bench is really helpful in coming in and getting good minutes and doing the things that they need to do and accepting whatever coach wants them to do.
You guys led for all but 19 seconds, and in those 19 seconds it was tied. How much does coach stress once you guys get a lead to be able to sustain that and not allow them to get any runs? back at you.
I think that's what he really wants us to do, defend home court and get out early against teams at home. And we've done that all year long, and so that's just kind of the norm for us at home, and we want to continue to do that.
I think, yeah, especially after, I think, what was it, like the K-State game, we're up by 20 for most of it, and it kind of gave us a little bit of a scare coming back like that. I think it's really important that, we just stay focused, keep pushing, because it's just kind of easier to win when you have that a bigger score gap, so.
When you're attacking more, is Braxton, you seem to be looking for her a lot. Is she someone you try to pick out every now and then?
She's usually on my left side, and I feel like that guard's always helping down on the drive when I'm driving, so I'm always looking out to see if I can get a kick out to the left side. Because normally they're kind of in help side, but they're kind of waiting out because there's a shooter on the other side. And so I always look just whoever's on my left side, Braxton, Jaden, whoever's on that side, to get a quick three if they help in.
Mentioned defend home court. You got a tough road game on Saturday against OU the second time. They're just coming off a win tonight at Kansas State in Manhattan. So, what are you going to do to prepare for them the second time around and just try to get that sweep?
Keep doing what we're doing, I guess. I don't know. Just keep doing what we're doing. This is a good win to come off of before we go up there. Just kind of get our confidence back from the last one. And we've had some really good practices to prepare for this one. And so I think if we just keep continuing the good practices and the energy and stuff like that this week, then it'll help us the most going down to Norman.
What was kind of the difference? What was kind of the difference between Kansas State and tonight? What would you say?
The energy. I think just our passing. I feel like we had a lot more assists tonight. I think pretty much every aspect of the game was way better. They didn't get to the foul line this time. I feel like Kansas State, they got to the foul line quite a bit.
I think the big thing was like our demeanor. Like we just at K-State, we're just kind of being lackadaisical and kind of not the aggressor. And I think tonight we were the aggressor, and that helped us pull it out.
Lauren, what's Bedlam been like for you so far? What have you thought about it?
Yeah, I was going to say something about that. So the first time, Bedlam was really exciting. The crowd was super into it. It was really a really rough game, but I feel like that's just how this conference is, and it's exciting every time. So I'm excited to go to Norman and see what that environment will be like. I know there's a men's game on the same day, but I'm sure they still have a bunch of fans, and I know we have strong supporters that are going to go watch. So I'm hoping it's going to be fun.
Any other questions? All right, thanks very much, ladies.
It was a really nice win for our team tonight. West Virginia started the season 15-0, and they've sustained a lot of injuries this year, including Tyneese Martin, who's one of the premier players in not only our conference but in the country. And Coach Carey does a great job of coaching his kids, and they're long, they're athletic, they play hard. They're hard to score on. We had a great deal of trouble in the first half, and it's just good to come out with a win. I was proud of our group. We never play zone, and we probably played 39 minutes of zone tonight. And we gave up 11 threes, but there's some trade-offs when you do that. We only allowed 5 free throws, so we kept them off the free throw line. We kept our players out of foul trouble, and we were flying around did a pretty good job flying around in the zone, and it created some deflections and steals, and we created 30 points off of turnovers, and I thought it got us in transition, really got low going when we needed it. Braxton Miller was really special tonight, and to step up and play that well in a big game, she just continues to play above her years. Her maturity level is really high, and just a really good win for our team.
Coach Carey mentioned the zone defense, because it caused 24 turnovers, and he said it was a difference to him. You got to go to that zone anytime soon? Any more games, do you think? Or
it depends a lot on matchups, and I'm not going to give a free scouting report in here, so I appreciate the question, but I think we got to mix it up and be able to play both zone and man. And a lot of times when you have difficulty guarding a certain spot on the floor, you may have to go to it. So I mean, we weren't great in it. We gave up 73 points, but it did keep us out of foul trouble. It got us some run-out steals when our kids anticipated and got deflections. So it was give and take in the zone. It wasn't perfect, but I think it helped us get a win tonight.
Is it also something you wanted to use and try out to see what you could do with Maria, Carly, and Jaden, see what they could do on defense to help replace Ari? Is that something you wanted to try out?
You know, we may have to do some of that because we change. You know, we've changed, and I think we got to have the ability to change. We can't stay in a zone for 39 minutes like we did tonight. That isn't going to be the game plan in the future. Our base defense needs to be man-to-man.
Lauren said she thought that the game at Kansas State was probably the worst that she had played since she's been in college. How important was her for her to bounce back like she did in a game like this, and then how she did in the fourth quarter, scoring 14 points?
Well, she's got a lot of pride, and the game is important to her. She's worked extremely hard on it, and she didn't feel good about the way she played. But, guys, what are we, 13-4. She's had one bad game in 17 games. I'll take that every year, every time out. She's a really, really good player. She's elevated this team along with other kids that have come in, Braxton Miller, the people coming back, and Mandy Coleman and Kaylee Jensen. You know, I didn't think she'd stay down for long. She's got a lot of spirit, and she told me in the shoot-around today, Coach, I'm ready to go. And I said, well, Lo, I would have wished you'd told me that last night so I could sleep a little bit. But when she says she's ready to go, she's ready to go. There's no question about it.
Braxton tied her career high today, 23 points. Do you think sometimes people forget that she's a freshman?
You know, she's just people ask me what makes her special, and she just is pretty stoic on the floor, and I mean that in a positive way. She plays on a real even keel. She doesn't really get upset about anything, and for a young player, she may be the best I've had about turning the page. She can have an ugly miss and then drain a three the next time down the floor. She's got a great mentality about next play, go to the next play. And she talks to our team on that. She's a leader right now as a freshman.
How special was it to have three players, Jensen, Goodwin, and Miller, combined for 70 points?
We'd like to get that fourth one in double figures, but it didn't present itself tonight. And I thought Tasha Jones gave us good minutes off the bench with the 5 points and got a bucket underneath, hit 3 for 3 on free throws, and then got a big offensive rebound and kicked it to Lowe in the corner for a big 3. So Tosh made some plays and played within herself tonight to help us get the win. And Jaden Hobbs didn't score, missed some shots that I think she normally hit, but she was solid. She ran the offense, didn't turn it over, but we got to get her going to make some threes.
Second win against the top 25 team. You got OU on Saturday. Just are you going to look to build up on this now that you're back in the win column, go down there in Norman?
It's just a crazy league, and you got to bring it every night. I understand that OU went in and won at K-State tonight, and that's a very difficult place to play. So you could throw all the records out. You could throw everything out when it's bedlam. Coach Cole's got a great team, very experienced. There's a lot of similarities in our team. They've got 3 very experienced seniors. We got 3 very experienced seniors. They've got 2 really good freshmen too to go along with it, and it's going to be a hard-fought game. We need to play well down there and come out with another win, but it won't be easy because I really like Oklahoma's team. They got a lot of different ways they can score the basketball.
Any other questions?
Thank you, guys.